GOP candidates continue to fire away at frontrunner Donald Trump, including former governor of New York, George Pataki, calling his campaign a reality show.
This is nonsense. This isn't to be who's auditioning to be head of the next reality show. This is about who's going to be the president, the next president of the United States. I know I'm up to that job. That's why I'm running.
But he's striking a chord, and with Trump leading in the polls, do GOP candidates need to start tweaking their messages to keep up? Joining us now is former New York governor and 2016 presidential candidate George Pataki. Nice to see you this morning, Governor.
Good being with you.
Well, you know, Donald Trump's flying into Iowa today, and all eyes will be on his helicopter as it approaches. Jeb Bush was asked this question yesterday. Is he paying much attention to it? He said it's still early in the race, and this is a sideshow right now. Yet he's still crushing it right now in the polls, and Donald Trump out on the stump is happy to tell others that, look, these guys have 0 in the polls, these guys have 1% in the polls. So it may be a reality show, but he's leading right now. What do you say about that?
Well, part of it is it's all you talk about. You turn on the media, you want to find out what's happening with ISIS, you want to find out what's happening with the American economy, and all you hear about is Trump flying in on a helicopter to the Iowa State Fair. To be honest, he has tapped into a sense that Washington is out of control, and that it doesn't matter which party is in control, things don't seem to change. But that's why I'm running, because you have to not just win the election, you have to be able to actually change Washington. And I know I can do that because they had the same complaint about New York. Nothing ever seemed to change. I got elected with an overwhelmingly Democratic state assembly. I put in place sweeping changes in the most blue state in America. So I know I can do it in Washington. People want that, and that's why I'm running.
Yeah, people want to change Washington. So to your point, I mean, do you think a governor, a former governor, would be the best choice for the GOP nod coming into 2016 because of that executive experience and being a Washington outsider?
Well, Anna, you know, it's in my self-interest to say it should be a governor, but I've seen some governors I would not want running their state, let alone Washington. So, yes, if you have executive experience and a proven ability to change a large, complex government with conservative policies. And I'm running because I think I have shown that. And I have this vision as to what we can do in Washington, work together, bring people together, actually solve the problems facing America. And that's what I think the American people want to see.
And, Governor, you did say that part of the reason that you're so far down in the polls right now is because us in the media aren't talking about you as much. Do you really think that our talking about Trump on a helicopter is the reason that you're down in the bottom tier right now?
No, I don't think that affects me, but it does affect Trump, because that's all that the media is talking about. He's the one in the press constantly, and that's fine. That's the way it is today. But I have to make the case myself. I know that. I have to go out there with an idea as to how we can throw out the tax code, reduce the size of the federal government, strengthen our military, be more aggressive in going after ISIS and protecting us from radical Islam. I have those ideas. It's my job to get out there and convince the American people that they're the right ideas, and I can get them done. And I know I can do that as I move forward here.
Well, you're taking some heat for firing back at former HP head Carly Fiorina, who's one of your potential GOP contenders right now. She has taken the stance that parents should have the right to decide whether to vaccinate their children or not. And you tweeted at her the other day saying pandering for voters isn't going to win us back the presidency. Optional vaccinations are bad for public health and bad politics. Why'd you decide to take on Carly Fiorina on this topic?
Because we have to be a forward-looking party. We can't lose young voters because we're anti-science, anti-technology, and debating whether or not there was evolution, debating whether or not vaccines work. You know, last month, I think it was in June actually, we had the first measles death in America in 12 years. I thought that was a fight that was over when I was a little kid. And the idea now that there is a constituency that doesn't want to vaccinate their kids and somehow we have to appeal to them is simply wrong. We have to embrace science. We have to embrace technology and move on as one Americans, not trying to divide us. Well, this group doesn't like evolution. This group doesn't like vaccines. This group doesn't believe that human activity is changing the atmosphere at all. We have to embrace science and move forward together.
All right. Former New York Governor George Pataki, he's running for president. Thanks for coming on the show this morning.
Thanks, Governor.
Thank you. Nice being on with you.